except where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying?
This is me talking to my BJJ brothers and sisters now that I see that the internet is starting to turn on BJJ. What I'm talking about is I've seen a string of videos going around lately where they tell you in order to break or thwart BJJ, especially if somebody's trying to do a choke on armbar, all you gotta do is stand up. Just stand up and then slam them. And that is all you ever have to do ever to beat anybody ever who is ever doing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu ever. That's all you got to do. And it's true absolutely 100% of the time because the internet says it. And now they've got a few videos showing people doing it. This is good for two things. Now, let me start by saying I'm not a BJJ black belt. I'm offering my opinion because this type of stuff has happened with Taekwondo, which I do have a black belt in. I haven't seen it happen too much with Judo lately. I also have a black belt in Judo. But it did happen with Judo back in the day, and I didn't really believe it then. So, I'm telling you, don't necessarily believe it about BJJ now. So you got two things. First of all, you do have a flaw, per se, being exposed. It's something that people can practice and work. So, in the cases where it works, consider this good constructive feedback on a possible vulnerability in your system. Now, how you can use this vulnerability to your system is simple. Train a counter to the standing up. Because the people who are going to just automatically think that you just have to pick someone up and slam them, and that's going to fix everything every time, they're probably not training. Or they're not going to bother to learn any BJJ at all, or any type of grappling system at all, or even learning any judo, which is where BJJ comes from, in order to deal with somebody countering their standing up. So what you can do, BJJ practitioners, is, if you really want to go to some kind of technique where you're working them from their back or where you're doing a flying arm bar in a real fight, if you really want to do that, hey, think of things you can do if somebody picks you up before they slam you. I would give them away, but I'm not, because I don't want to be held liable if some people say, okay, well, he said we can do that to counter it. Let's try it, even though we're doing this unsupervised with no training, because, hey, we think we can just look at or listen to internet videos and audio files and figure out everything for ourselves, period, with no coaching. I don't want them coming back my way. But I will say, I do think there are things that you can do to handle if somebody picks you up. I would assume that if you're athletic enough to do any type of flying arm bar or what you guys call jump guard to get somebody to go down, you're probably smart enough and athletic enough to handle if somebody tries to pick you up and slam you in a quote unquote real fight. So this is the key. Don't necessarily go about trying to prove them wrong, because I do that with videos where, I show Taekwondo head kicks working. I show what happens when somebody tries to grab one leg. I show a person countering it with the other leg. I mean, that's part of my shtick here. And it still hasn't wiped that stuff out completely. I notice it'll die down a little bit, and that could be my own confirmation bias. But they eventually come back. So use this BJJ hate to your advantage. Just like I said in one of my old videos, I use Taekwondo hate to my advantage. Use this to your advantage. Ask people how they would break BJJ, how they know for a fact that it won't work in a real fight. You might come up with some good stuff there. So, Jeet Kune Do it, a la Bruce Lee. Take what's useful, disregard the rest. What could happen too is certain techniques may go out of favor with BJJ, or some people may stop slow BJJ. Although let's be clear, I don't see BJJ going away. Okay. But what can happen is when people poo-poo a particular technique and they think they have proof that it doesn't work, they stop guarding against it or training against it. And then after a while, they become vulnerable to it again. It's like I've noticed a lot of people, they just swore they knew how to deal with kicks. And then that became the law and the gospel. And then I see, if I still manage to find any quote-unquote real fight videos, even in some professional fights, seems like they can't handle kickers anymore. When it seemed like the crowd could handle kickers, but now they can't. So everything goes in cycles. Don't fret it. Don't sweat it. They want to say, oh, they got a way to break your style, whatever it is. Take a look at what their argument is. Counter it. Don't go out of your way to share it with them, because a lot of people who just want to say, oh, yeah, man, this is what I do, and that does it every time. They're probably not open to receiving from you. But that doesn't mean that you have to be closed to receiving from them. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Be shares with people like to talk about the martial arts. And peace. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Peace. P.S. The technique of just stand up in judo is called daki age. Peace.
Taking time to feel the joy that melts the steel of coldness in my heart. Life bringing warmth to my art. Flowers, fields, and roses. Waterfalls composes symphony of sunshine. Music for soul-sticking and fun time with the ones we love. Laughters, kisses, hugs. When I hold your hand, you're moving my mind to expand. Here comes cheer, ears hear clear. Birth of a girl or a boy is a sound of like